I'm about to show you a 32-year-old woman who is completely clueless as to why she cannot get a boyfriend. Let's get straight into it.
I'm 32 and I've never had a boyfriend, and I can say this as of yesterday officially because it was my birthday. Common question I get when I mention never having a boyfriend is why?
Well, stop it there. Why? Why don't you have a boyfriend is a much different question than how do you not have a boyfriend? Let me explain. When someone asks you, why don't you have a boyfriend, and insinuates there is something wrong with you. There is something wrong with you. Either you're crazy or maybe you're a big bag, big bag. That could be the problem. When someone asks you, how do you not have a boyfriend, and insinuates, wow, you are so great. How do you not have a boyfriend? You are awesome. What's going on? But why and how is much different. Chat, put a 1 in the chat if you agree. Let's get back into this.
I'm going to lay out a certain scenario that literally explains why being a single person in today's society.
Of course, we're going for the blaming society and not taking accountability of our own actions. We'll dive into her TikTok page in a bit and you can see exactly why she's single.
It has become beyond difficult and has us all losing hope every single day. So I'm standing at the bar with my 2 friends and I'm trying to take a selfie of us in 0.5 literally on my iPhone. This guy sees us taking the selfie and he's like, oh, like, do you want me to just take your picture? Yeah, sure. So he takes our picture and then like he's there with a bachelor party. So he gives the phone to his friend and they're like, can you take our picture? So I'm like taking their picture. And then the guy starts talking to us and he's like, well, why are you guys here? And I was like, oh, we're just doing like a little girls trip. My birthday's tomorrow. And he's like, okay, we need shots. And we're like, okay, yeah, we'll do a shot. He asks what we want. We tell him. He's like, I'm gonna run to the bar really quick. And, you know, it's a busy bar. He's like, I'll probably be back in like 30 minutes. We were already like standing in that spot and it was like a good spot. And we're like, yeah, like we'll be here. We're not moving. Eventually we look up, we see he gets a beer for himself. He chugs it. He walks out the back door and just drops the beer in the trash can. But this just speaks to my point as to why being single can be so difficult right now. Like guys will literally say things and they do not have any intention behind their work. I turned 32, okay? I have been going to bars pretty consistently since the day I turned 21.
That is a massive red flag. I always tell men and women, you never meet your wife or your husband at the bar or the club. Shubadanaya, shoulda bought a Honda, put it on a t-shirt. Chat, put a 1 in the chat if you agree. You don't meet your husband or wife at the bar or the club. But yet these women go to the bars and clubs for, this woman's been going for a decade and still hasn't figured out that's not the place you go to procure a relationship.
We're looking at over a decade and never in my life have I had a guy offer to buy me a drink.
Just stop it there because you probably never had a guy offer to buy you a drink. Shots fired! Just stop it there.
Walk up to the bar and then just disappear.
Stop the cap.
I didn't approach the guy. We didn't approach the guy. We didn't ask the guy to buy us shots. The guy asked why we were there. I said my birthday. I don't expect you to do anything. I didn't even need you to take our picture. Like, I love a good 0.5 selfie. On top of it, like after you tell a girl on her birthday you're gonna get her a drink, you walk away. Like it wasn't even a regular day. Like you did that on my birthday. Why am I single? Because apparently I missed the jump in 2018 when I should have found someone and settled down. Now I'm in this new generation of dating and it's testing me.
New generation of dating, right? Nothing is her fault in this entire scenario. Let's just take a quick peek at her TikTok. And I think you guys will start to realize rather quickly why she's single. Men care about women that are fit, feminine, friendly, cooperative, submissive, and have no children, okay? The first one of those, and ladies, I don't make the rules, I just enforce them. The number 1 is fit. Fit. Like you fit in those jeans. Shots fired! So I understand these women want to shame men for being like, well, he said he was going to buy me a drink and then he didn't buy me a drink. But ladies, we got to start taking some accountability. We got to start taking some accountability of the fact that men want women that are fit. This isn't fit. I'm going to keep it a buck. If I approached you and maybe you was the fridge protecting the snacks here, but if I saw maybe you had 2 cute friends, I might have approached. But at the end of the day, men want women that are fit. Chat, put a 1 in the chat if you agree with me. Men typically don't want big women. It's just not a thing. It's not a thing. Where in history, in what part of the world, where in history have big women been the first pick for high-value men? I'll give you one clue. It's never been a thing.
How about no?
It's never been a thing. So ladies, you're having issues dating, the first thing you got to do is look at the common denominator. It's you. Look in the mirror. What ladies have to worry about is what's in that mirror and what's on that scale. And dude, the thing is, I don't make the rules. This is stuff we've known since middle school. The cute girls get the guys. The big girls don't. It just happens. I hope this girl can learn this. But the thing is, if you want to procure a relationship, either you have to go for the big guys. But you know what's funny? Is that even women that are shaped like Lizzo or old Lizzo, new Lizzo's nice and slim now, but women that are shaped like old Lizzo don't want big dudes. The hypocrisy in that. You can be a big back, but you don't want a guy who's a big back. What in the HE double hockey sticks is that? How is that fair at all? Ladies, if you're a big girl, go get you a big dude. It's really that simple. And then these women, at least in my opinion, once you get over 30, you start hitting the wall. And the thing is, by the time you're 35, it's geriatric pregnancy. And then when you weigh a bunch, it's harder for you to have kids. You're higher risk for PCOS. It's a high-risk pregnancy if you're obese or overweight. And so the thing is, ladies, you want a high-value man to come in, sweep you off your feet, which would be tough in the first place. Shots fired! But second of all, you want a man to come in who has a lot of resources, and you want him to share those resources with you. But what is he getting? A woman that's overweight, never had a boyfriend, over 30, and is going to have, issues with the pregnancy. High-value men want something in return. Ladies, we got to start realizing this. And I think these women now that they haven't prioritized a relationship, they get in their 30s and they're starting to realize, wow, there's really no guys out there for me. That's why I say buy a dog, get a cat, die alone. She already had a dog in some of those videos, so it's like maybe that's what you're going to have to do, honey. It sucks, but it is what it is.
I am almost 30 years old and I've never had a boyfriend. And I am embarrassed about that.
Good, she should be. Never had a boyfriend at 30 years old?
Actually, truly am embarrassed about that. I'm kind of in shock I'm even admitting it on the internet right now. But I'm 30 years old and I've never had a boyfriend.
The thing is, though, good for her. I'm actually proud of this woman for saying, you know what, I'm ashamed of that. That's the first step in getting past it.
I don't even think there's ever been a man in my life who's been interested in me beyond just my body. 100%. And that has developed into some deep-rooted insecurities.
I agree with that. But the thing is, ladies, if a man's only interested in your body, you have to look within and say, maybe that's all you have to offer. Shots fired! Maybe your personality just really isn't kicking like you thought it was. I said, life is a mirror, not a window. If men are attracted to you for just your body and your personality's not there, I mean, that's just one part of the three things men are looking for. Chat, put a 1 in the chat if you agree. You guys know what I always say. Your physicality, your appearance is what gets our attention. Your personality is what keeps our attention, and your character is what makes us fall in love with you. Shibananaya should have bought a Honda, put it on a t-shirt. Ladies, if you're missing 2 of those 3, it's going to be a lot harder for you to procure a man out in the dating market.
I have never even had a man have a crush on me. Ever.
Brutal.
I didn't have a Valentine growing up. I didn't have any of that. Never had a school boyfriend. Didn't even have my first kiss until I was 22 years old. And it was the same night I lost my virginity. Was the day I had my first real kiss. Like, where someone actually kissed me. I had a kiss in a truth or dare game one time when I was 17 years old. And it was that. But I'm talking a real kiss. And the thought of being almost 30 and never having had a boyfriend and no prospects of it genuinely terrifies me. I don't want to be alone. I don't want to live alone. I enjoy being single. But it is not how I want to spend the rest of my life. I want a boyfriend and I want a family. And I think sometimes I feel like women who are single and are happy to be single, like I don't think there's anything wrong with being single. I'm fine with being single right now. I just don't want
Stop the cap.
to be single forever. And I feel like we're not allowed to ever say that, Like, I am single now, but I don't want to be single forever. I'm happy where I am now, but I don't want to stay here forever. And I feel like we're not allowed to say that. So I'm saying it. I'm almost 30, never had a boyfriend, and I want one. Speak it into existence, I guess.
The thing is, there's a lot of guys that are on her level, but more than likely, she's not attracted to those guys. Isn't it funny how that works? There's probably a lot of men out there that are on her level. But do you think she gives those guys attention at all? You know what's crazy? Is that these women really overinflate their own rating. This is why I tell people to rate themselves 1 through 10, and you can't use 7 fresh face out of the shower. If you're overweight, that already knocks off 2. If you got a kid, that already knocks off 2. So if you're 8 in the face and you got kids, 6. And you're overweight, 4. I don't make the rules, I just enforce them. This is the stuff that Kevin Samuels used to talk about. I think it's very good. For me, I think if you're a single mom, cut your number in half. So you're a 9, cut that in half, you're at a 4.5. Because I think men really do care these days. But in 2025, I think we're seeing a big rise in the femcel movement. These women are involuntarily celibate, like the incel movement with men. They're starting to realize that men don't pay attention to them, and more than likely, as they get older, they're starting to realize men really don't pay attention to them at all. They're not at the top priority anymore. Ladies, you got from about the ages of 18 to 26 to go out there and procure a man. By 27, you better be trying to lock somebody down. And that's because navigating the dating scene can be absolutely brutal, but so can dealing with the aftermath of an accident. Have you ever been involved in a personal injury case? Over the years as an image consultant, I've worked with many clients recovering from workplace accidents, car accidents, and more. And I was actually shocked to learn how often people lose their personal injury cases. That's why I want to talk about Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm. They specialize in a wide variety of personal injury cases, and they've won thousands of big cases. And if you end up working with them, they're going to fight for the money that you deserve. Just recently, Morgan & Morgan solidified verdicts in Florida of $12 million and $26 million in Philly. That's up to 40 times the highest insurance offer. And I'm telling you, your case could be worth millions. If you've been injured in an accident, don't wait. You can go visit www.forthepeople.com/Levi, found in the description below, to start your free claim today. Y'all know what time it is. Hey, just because you hear the song doesn't mean you get to go for the jerky, bud. Do you understand me? Sitting there perched like a bird on the branch. Loki. Free. Really loves these beef jerkies, dude. These kangaroo jerkies, bro. Doug's Dog Supplies from Des Shannon. W's in the chat from my man Des. Thank you, sir. It's good to have you. He's tearing these up. But going back to my previous point with the whole femcel thing, is modern women now, especially the ones that are in their 30s, I think in 2024 we started calling it the wall, but now it's the rise of the femcells. These women that literally can't procure a relationship or even a buck fuddy. They can't even procure a situationship. They can't even get a second date. It's because a lot of these women compare themselves to these other women out there that are hot, pretty, beautiful, or gorgeous, and they think that they have the same market value as these women, even though they are big bag. And some of them even look like Quasimodo. Shots fired! I'm telling you right now, ladies, if you don't have the aesthetic, you're really not going to get a man's attention. It's truly sad. But here's another delusional modern woman right here.
Helen, it says here you've never had a boyfriend. Is that true?
Yeah, but I just think it's just because I'm so confident.
Stop the cap.
Because she's so confident, huh?
And, like, I've got, like, amazing tits.
Stop the
and
cap.
That, like, intimidates some men. My friends think it's because I'm 6'1", I've got a broad back and I speak...
6'1" and got a broad back. We call that a big back here in the States.
Big back,
German, but that's not it. I'm so... It can't be, it just can't be. Too sexy for the boys. That's what it is, I'm too sexy. I could have a boyfriend if I wanted one, but I don't want one, so I don't even know why you brought it up. It's not even a big deal. Like, what am I going to do with a guy? Talk or, like, have an I don't think so. I can have an orgasm quicker myself. I've come resting my vagina on the corner of the table before, so this is absolutely mad that we're discussing it now. Shut up!
It's a sad reality. And I mean, she's got all the telltale signs these other women have. I want to feel bad for them, but at the same time, men have been saying for years exactly what we want. Chat, put a 1 in the chat if you agree. Women knew that even in middle school, the cute girls got the boys. The fit girls got the attention of the boys. Girls have always known that men like fit women. Men have always loved pretty women. This is no new phenomenon. In what country right now do all the ugly women get the first choice of men? What country? Don't worry, I'll wait. Oh, yeah, that's right. It's nowhere.
How about no?
In nowhere in history have the ugliest and biggest women ever got the best men. Since when has that ever been a thing? But the thing is, if a man has a lot of money and he's beat to bits and he's fat, it doesn't matter because he's got a lot of money. Men and women want different things in each other. Women typically want a man that has resources, who can provide and protect. None of that says anything about being fit. But men, we want fit, feminine, friendly, cooperative, submissive, no kids. The latter half of that, cooperative, submissive, and no kids, that can come. But we want fit and feminine and friendly. That's like the meat of it right there. If you look really good, I've seen women that are bat nuts crazy, but can go out there and procure a man because she's fit and she's feminine. I'm just saying, I don't make the rules, I just enforce them. I'm just throwing rocks, and if it hits you, holla. Being fit is the number one thing men look for. Like I said, ladies, the stuff you need to really worry about is what's in that mirror and what's on that scale. You think, oh, I can't find a man. No men pay attention to me. Get in shape and watch the men start flocking, honey. Watch them. Watch them. Men, we can be in shape. Girls nowadays will take a dad bod. But girls care more about a personality and a guy being spontaneous and a guy making her comfortable. Like I said, if you can make her laugh and giggle, you can make her cheeks clap and jiggle. Should have been a nice, should have bought a Honda. Wrong one. But we're different. We're so different. And I think the problem is that a lot of women nowadays, at least modern women, chat, put a 1 in the chat if you agree. A lot of modern women, they go out there and chase their careers. They think their careers are the most important things they should chase after. And then by the time they're 35, they're like, wow, I never prioritized a relationship. Now I really want one. Because biologically and instinctually, these women understand that having offspring and having a legacy is the most important thing they can do in their life. But they've never prioritized it. They were told by their parents, go get an education, go get a degree, go get a job. And then they're told by their family and their friends, the only thing that should matter is a job and your career. And then they're told, if anything else matters other than your job and your career, you're doing life wrong. And then they're like, okay, I prioritized my job and my career. Now I'm 35 and I'm in no man's land. It's truly sad. At 27 years old, ladies, you should try to sell. Try to go get you a man. Try to get booed up. Boyfriend, at least. At 30, 50% off. 35, clearance rack. 40, outlets. 50 plus, you're at the Salvation frickin' Army. You're getting whatever price they put. And after that, you're a free sample at the mall. Good luck. I feel like this has been known for a very long time. But it's funny to me that in 2025, we're still talking about this stuff and that women still don't understand that this stuff matters to men. Like, how many times do we have to say it, men, where women start to listen?
When a woman says that you're controlling, toxic, insecure for not wanting your girl to go party 4 or 5 nights a week and get drunk and put herself in these sorts of situations, that's basically essentially just shaming language. You're trying to shame men out of using our masculine instincts to keep her out of positions that put the relationship at risk. And I do think it's the case that if you're going out and partying and getting drunk and being around these kinds of people in these kinds of environments, you are putting your relationship at risk. Would you be okay with your long-term monogamous boyfriend going to the strip club?
No.
Why not?
Well, he's like seeing all the naked bitches.
Don't you trust him?
Yeah, but I feel like the strip club is different than going out to the...
How? There's a less likely chance of those strippers having any interest in fucking your boyfriend than the men at the nightclubs that you're going to wanting to fuck you. All the guys in the club at the party want to pursue you sexually, romantically. The men that go to nightclubs, none of the strippers want to fuck them. They think they're a joke. They think they're clowns. They have no respect for the guys that go to strip clubs.
Mm-hmm.
Facts. But she's just insecure. It's just funny to me that a man's preferences is always insecure, but a woman's preferences is just a boundary. Isn't it funny? You throw that logic against them and they can't even fathom that they would be wrong. Isn't that funny? It's so hilarious to me. Let's hop in the Discord and see what you guys got. Let's see. Oh, I'm triggered about, what is this? Cheating? Let's see. I like this guy's channel.
If my man can cheat, then why can't I cheat too?
Well, it's quite simple when you really think about it. The fact of the matter is men have to have a lot of different things to have access to sex. I have to have money, I have to be smart, I have to be good looking, I have to have cars and clothes, a whole bunch of things for me to have access to someone like you. Now, on the other hand, for you to cheat, it's quite simple because all you had to do was be born. At no point in time do we ever salute something that's easy over something that's difficult. It's harder for me to cheat and it's easy for you. And that's your lesson for the day.
I mean, facts. I always say this, men have to go out in the world and create their value, whereas women are born with theirs. It's just not, it's not fair out there, gents. I was doing a meeting with, I had a meeting, let's see here.
And end up not wanting to pursue me.
Because they are.
So, I'll refresh this page, but I was having a one-on-one meeting yesterday, and this during a consultation, this guy pretty much ticked all the boxes, but there was just a few that he missed, and so I brought those to light for him, and I was like, bro, if we focus on these, you'll go out there and be able to procure a relationship and maybe even somebody that's a situationship. But, as of right now, he was just missing a few things. But it's just funny to me that men, we have to really tick off 5 to 6 boxes to be able to procure a relationship or to procure coitus, whereas a woman just has to exist in most of the time until they get a little bit older, and then sometimes they can't even get that.
Guys that I'm interested in end up not wanting to pursue me.
And this just
because they are the same guys that everyone is interested in.
And then guys that I'm not interested in pursue me and pursue me hard and do not give up.
Because those are the guys that nobody is interested in.
Please make it make sense.
Okay. Human beings are born with a sense of fairness. We like to think that the universe is fair and everything evens out, but it's not and it doesn't. We think that things work a certain way, but it's actually just a feeling that we need to have. Otherwise, life would be a nightmare. We like to believe that there is someone out there for everyone, but in reality, it's only a few guys that are attractive to all the girls. The rest of these guys are practically invisible until they do something extra and then you notice them. In other words, they have to make up for their lack of attractiveness by being extra nice. That means that all women dream of being with just a few exciting men, so there's not enough to go around. So if we match 1-to-1, that means that most women will never get what they're looking for. This used to work better because women kind of had to get married when they had less power, so most people would match 1-to-1. But now that you have your own money, we don't match 1-to-1 anymore. We threw all those rules out the window, and now everything is a mess. Because women are no longer marrying who they must, and instead, they are pursuing who they want, and it's all the same few guys. Let's say this is you. This is the guy that you're looking for, and he isn't interested in committing because he's got all the attention he can handle, and so does he. And here is the guy who's looking for you, and you're not interested in him, and neither is anyone else. Except maybe her, but then he doesn't want to commit to her either. To make matters worse, dating apps give people the illusion of more options than they really have. So when you say,
please make it make sense,
that is your brain trying to believe that people naturally pair off with someone at their own level. But that's not how nature works. Nature makes all the women want these few men, and then these men want these women who are not interested because they want Prince Charming, although Prince Charming is busy. And then these girls way down here are pursuing these guys who don't want to be seen with them. People love to forget that we are nature, we are animals, and we have a lower biological nature. And nature doesn't say, I should pick someone appropriate for me. Nature says, I should get the best I possibly can, which creates a market. This website on walrus reproduction says that one male is shared by 23 females. At certain points in our history, 17 women reproduced for every one man, and throughout all of history, only 40% of men reproduce, compared to almost 90% of women. So this is not new. It's just what male mammals do when nothing stops them. And if you want to go back to everyone matching 1 by 1, then you have to go back to the rules that made it happen. But you said you didn't like those. So the reason that people no longer pair up 1 by 1 is that sexual freedom makes society collapse. This guy wrote a book about it, and just look at him. He tried to warn you. Here, I know none of you are going to read this. The whole of human history does not contain a single instance of a group becoming civilized unless it has been absolutely monogamous, nor is there any example of a group retaining its culture after it has adopted less rigorous customs. So the reason the guys you like don't like you, and the other way around, is because that's what people do when you let them.
That's great. I love it. Great share there, Bree. Shout out to Bree for that. I have a quote that encompasses all that, though. If he's good enough for you, he's good enough for a few. And we'll end it off that. Loki, did you have a good time today? All the way on your place? Oh, he's done listening to me. He don't even care no more. But I hope you guys enjoyed today's episode. Don't forget to book a one-on-one consultation with me if you need a reality check, looks maxing advice, dating advice, or anything above and beyond, social media related or anything. You want to pick my brain, you can book a time with me for a one-on-one chat. Go to levinicks.com for all of your ebook needs and all of your merch needs. We got Loki pillows, Loki jackets. But I hope you guys enjoyed today's episode. I will see you guys tomorrow, man. Peace.